Edward, thank you so much for coming to the Malden Public Library today to talk about your history here. When did you first start coming to the Malden Public Library?
I started coming to the Malden Public Library when I was 4 or 5 years old, when my mother would bring me and my brothers to the children's hour at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on a weekday, where the librarian would just read stories to children. And my mother could then go downtown and shop and then come back over here to the Malden Library to pick us up after an hour. But it's my earliest and a very happy memory for me, just absolutely feeling like a special child to be here at the Malden Public Library during Children's Hour. And they still have Children's Hour today.
As we're talking to you, this is Love Your Library Month. So why do you think people in Malden should take advantage of this wonderful library? Why should they love this library?
This library is very special. It's one of the most beautiful libraries in the United States. It's been a place where generation after generation of immigrant families have come and used it as part of their journey through the American dream. And so for me, it's just a wonderful place. It creates a warm and embrace for anyone that wants to come here, anyone who wants to study here, to do research here. And it's pretty much like the United Nations in terms of all the different nationalities that are right now downstairs in the reading room doing research or their homework or some other task which the library makes it easier for them to accomplish.
It's 30 years now since you implemented the E-rate plan, and that's been instrumental in helping libraries be involved in the technical revolution. Why was that important to you, and why is it important for people to know about that?
Well, my cousin Mary was a math teacher at the Beebe Junior High here in Malden, and I went into her class more than 30 years ago, and she was teaching math off of a computer, but to 25 kids. And at one point, I said to all the kids, how many of you have computers at home? And only 5 of them raised their hand. And then I said, how many of you would like a computer? And all 25 raised their hands. So I realized that there was going to be a big gap between communities, especially those that weren't as wealthy as other communities, but where the kids had the same ambitions. And so as we were moving from an era of book bags where everyone could take their books home and compete against any other kid in Malden or any other place, we were moving to an era where computers were going to be central. And if you didn't have access to that new technology, you were going to be left behind. So inspired by that, I created a program called the E-rate program, the education rate program, which has now spent $75 billion to provide access to the internet for schools and libraries in our country. And that makes it easier for the Malden Public Library to put those computers on the desks that right downstairs people are using right now. And the same thing is true across the street at Malden High School, in the Malden school system, but it's true as well for Chelsea, for Lawrence, for downtown Boston schools. They all have extra subsidies out of the E-rate, the education rate. And I did it so that places like Malden and Roxbury would not get left behind, that there would be access to funding so that those kids, the next generation, would have access to the same learning opportunities which I had.
Very forward thinking. We've heard that you and your wife are passionate about art. You were instrumental in getting local artist Frank Stella to exhibit at the library. Why do you think the library's art collection is so important to this community?
Well, one of the greatest artists of the 20th century, Frank Stella, is from Malden. And it's a big part of our culture, our history. The Malden Library is replete with beautiful works of art which inspire generation after generation of Maldonians. And it's essential, in my opinion, that we continue to fund the arts, whether it be the National Endowment for the Arts or just be the works that are exhibited here at the Malden Library. It's absolutely essential that everyone have access to inspirational artistic works that are able to give people a real sense that they're a part of this great American culture.
You've talked so much about the history of Malden and all the great things and the famous people who are from here. Doesn't it fit then that a library like this would be located in this community?
Yeah, this library fits Malden perfectly. It's who we are. We believe that we have a very, very proud past, but we have a very strong future at the same time. And at the heart of both parts of our story is the Malden Public Library, making sure that everyone appreciate where we've come from, but where everyone has yet to go, with the library giving access to all of the information, the resources that they would need in order to complete this journey for their families as well.
When you come back and visit, does it really make you feel like you're at home?
No, I love the Malden Library. One of my earliest memories is having my Malden Library card. That was maybe my first identification as a little kid. And when I came in, the librarian would treat me as a very special customer that she would be helping me with what I was doing research on. Now, most of the time I was trying to pull out books that were biographies of baseball players, but nonetheless, I was reading, and the librarian was helping me to get access to that information that I would need in the same way they do it for every single citizen in Malden every single week of the year.
Terrific.